Tomb Raider is undeniably one of the most iconic franchises in PlayStation's history, and recently at the Game Awards,
Expedition 33.
which aired just a few days ago, two new entries in the franchise were revealed: Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, a remake of the original 1996 game, and Tomb Raider Catalyst, a completely new story that is not tied to the so-called Survivor trilogy. The Survivor trilogy has divided fans since its release. Some loved it while others dismissed it as an Uncharted clone, an ironic criticism considering that Uncharted itself was once labeled a Tomb Raider clone, with some even calling it Dude Raider. The controversy behind the Survivor trilogy is the fact that Lara from these games is way different from the original Lara. The first game in the series, Tomb Raider 2013, was a reboot that aimed to give Lara a deeper backstory and reimagine the character in a grittier, more violent way, almost horror-like in certain parts, which was totally different than the original Lara that was confident in herself and was doing everything without a care in the world and just for fun. Now the series is taking some steps back and pretending that the Survivor trilogy was all just a bad dream. And I'm not saying this because the games were bad, because personally I think they're really great and worth playing, but because they are returning to the original formula that older fans of the franchise prefer. And it really shows from the reveal trailer.
Frozen in time.
This is the new Lara Croft coming to 2026 and to 2027, and this stirred a ton of controversy. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Pino and welcome back to my corner, guys. In this video we'll check out some awful takes on the new Lara Croft design and art direction of both of the games. Now personally, I think the new Lara Croft looks great. It is a near perfect mixture of both of the Survivor trilogy and the original series. I think they look identical. Before we start though, I want to quickly say that if you are enjoying this video, please consider checking out my channel and subscribe. I am currently going for 1k. Oof, this new design for Lara Croft is really jarring. I joked that she looks like those anti-woke face-tuned photos of make gaming characters hot again, but I don't know if it's a joke anymore. What do you mean she's fighting for her life and has a thick set of falsies? Okay, there's a lot to unpack here, but the main point I want to focus on first is the fact that Lara Croft is not fighting for her life. As mentioned in the introduction, there are essentially two versions of Lara Croft, the original and the Survivor Trilogy version. In the Survivor Trilogy, she is indeed fighting for survival. However, this game is a remake of one of the original titles, which means that the fighting for her life angle is largely dismissed. In the classic games, Lara takes on these adventures simply for the thrill. Tomb raiding is her hobby, and that sense of confidence and adventure is one of the core elements of her character. Another notable character trait is Lara's use of makeup, such as false eyelashes, as the tweet mentions, which reinforces the idea that she is meant to be a very attractive and stylish woman. This isn't to say that Lara in the Survivor trilogy is unattractive. She is still portrayed, in my humble opinion, still really beautiful in those games. The thing is that in the Survivor trilogy, she does not wear noticeable makeup. That's because, yeah, she is fighting for her life, so there isn't much time to put some makeup on, is there? She's not fighting for her life though, that's the point. She's the Lara Croft. Tomb raiding is a hobby. She's going out for the week killing dinosaurs, and she is going to make the effort, damn it. It's all easy to her now. It's a Tuesday in Lara world. Lara is a parody of the macho action heroes with over-the-top masculine features. Lara is the same, but with traditional and exaggerated femininity, aimed in the same action hero direction. Yeah, she's flipping like a gymnast, fighting demons and dinos in full makeup. That's the point. She fights dinosaurs in the game, man. These replies pretty much sum up what I was saying. And the author of the post replies, "It is really funny to see how the exact gamers I'm calling out in this post got really upset and mad that I made a joke about this fictional person's false eyelashes. Lmao. Thank you for literally proving my point. Good lord." So now the author of the post is pretending that it was all just a joke, which from how the tweet read it was not. This is something I hate that keeps happening on the internet when someone says an idiotic statement. When they see the backlash of it, they start saying that it was all part of their genius plan, of their mastermind, and we all fell for it. When in reality, they just said something stupid and people called them out for it. Rightfully so. And by the way, she's supposed to be an award winning journalist. Tomb Raider is an IP designed for teenage boys. It's not for grown women, it's not for queer folks like myself, it's not even for grown ass men. Lara Croft is a character designed for the sole purpose of luring males between 16 and 21 into buying a video game. Okay, in some ways, it's true that the original Tomb Raider games were heavily marketed toward the teenage boys and young men, given Lara Croft's exaggerated proportions, camera angles, and promotional material. Sex appeal was clearly being used as a selling point without any doubt. In that sense, Lara was designed, at least partially, to attract a male audience. However, saying that the IP is only for teenage boys ignores how players actually engage with the character. Even in the early years, Lara appealed to many women and queer players precisely because she was confident, independent, wealthy, and in control. Worst take yet. She's a queer icon and she'll always be. 90% of the fanbase is LGBTQA+, and she inspired millions of women, including kid female gamers, across the globe in a world designed specifically for male audiences. She broke every single barrier and she's still thriving. Now, saying that Lara Croft is a queer icon is kind of wrong in my opinion, and 90% of the fan base being LGBTQ is exaggerated, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, the point is that she wasn't a damsel, she didn't exist to be rescued, and she wasn't defined by a romance. For many players outside the intended demographic, that mattered more than how she was marketed. Over time, the franchise has changed a lot. The Survivor trilogy, like I have mentioned many times in this video, tried to appeal to a wider audience by moving away from Lara as a sex symbol and focusing more on realism and vulnerability. Whether that worked or not is debatable, but it shows that Tomb Raider is no longer made for just one type of player. There are still many people who complain that Lara Croft no longer has her original proportions, and I'll leave that debate there, especially since there have been far worse reinterpretations, such as the Netflix version where she barely resembles the original character at all. In that show, Lara is also portrayed as a lesbian, which is interesting considering that Lara Croft has never been given a clearly defined sexuality in the games. What bothers me the most about this choice is that it doesn't really add anything meaningful to her character, and instead feels like another attempt to appeal to a specific audience rather than serving the story itself. And this whole lesbian thing will be present apparently in the other game coming later in 2027, Tomb Raider Catalyst. At the end of the day, this is all based on reveal trailers and the real model is yet to be shown. Who knows, maybe they will change it again, only time will tell. It's also important to acknowledge that alongside these negative reactions, there are many people who genuinely like this version of Lara Croft. As is often the case, the most outraged voices tend to be in the minority, but they are also the loudest, which can make the backlash seem larger than it actually is. Now that's all I have for this video for today. I don't have anything else to say or to add, so leave a comment to let me know what you think about this. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.